I am here at the HR Tech Fest with Aman. So great. Thank you for talking with us today. Can you describe what the key takeaways were today from your segment?
So we talked about building a talent acquisition from the ground up.
Yep.
We talked about how you build a tech stack with minimal budget.
Yep.
How do you get business buy-in? How do you then bring your employer branding and weed it through all your technology?
The whole lot.
Yep. And then how do you create a seamless candidate experience? And not just an experience for, I guess, your candidates, but your employees as well.
How do you get the synergy between the technology and the people?
Oh, yes. Yeah. And I mean, how to create, I guess, what you see on the outside is what you get on the inside as well.
Yeah.
I went to a couple of presentations today. Josh Burson talked about
Yes.
how everybody's investing in the TA stack point of view and how important it is to get buy-in from IT.
Yep.
And we spoke about that today in my presentation. I went to the kind of ModWow employer branding piece, and they talked about how to build a solid employer brand and how they went about it. There's a lot of topics here around employer branding, but we have seen so much impact of doing it from a talent acquisition point of view, and then bringing it in-house. Our people have so bought into it.
Yes.
So, we've seen it go through our ATS into our onboarding, and then now it's in our annual reporting. It's on our screens. It's on our SharePoint, and people are using it in their in the way they communicate. So it's amazing. I love it.
Transformed.
It's just transformed, and people are everybody from the business is buying and going, when are we doing this next photo shoot?
Yeah, right. They're getting excited.
They're getting excited, and
Yeah.
and we want to hear more employees' stories. We want to hear about that referral scheme, or we want to hear about internally someone being promoted, and the imagery that we're creating off the back of it, the style, the tone, the feel. They really buy into the fact that our EVP is real.
Yeah.
And our employees are our biggest ambassadors at the end of the day, and you think about 900 people advocating your brand. There's nothing more powerful than that.
100%. You were talking a lot about how you can creatively go about this. If you don't necessarily have the resources yet or the money yet, you were looking at more creative approaches, which I really loved, because I think it can be a struggle for some people in this space. So can you talk to that?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, the key for us has been rolling up pilots.
Yes.
You sit there and we talked about how we rolled out Inboarder, for example, and we had 100 workflows to begin with, because that's all we could afford. And then part of the business really enjoyed the experience, the process. Our candidates gave amazing feedback. The hiring managers found it was great because they were getting prompted to do things because they'd forget normally.
Yep.
And the recruitment process, and we talked about how they just like to do their normal BAU. They hate recruiting.
Yep.
But then we got, we rolled out phase 2, and actually, we had a phase 3, but that didn't happen.
Right.
Phase 2 was phase 3, and we went to the full product.
Okay, wonderful.
And
how often does that happen?
No, it doesn't happen that often.
That's
but
nice.
And I think also because we've worked with IT so often, every time we talk to them about a technology piece now, even if it's a startup, they already know that we are doing best practice by them. So they know that we're getting the security certificates, looking at the product is supported well and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
so
well, the trust is there.
The trust is there now.
So that's, and that's so important too, because when you're trying to get the wider business to buy into your space, that's just, sounds like you've done it very successfully.
Yeah, and I think the whole one team approach works well. We work as solidly HR, talent acquisition, L&D, and us, in the team payroll, we work good together.
Yep.
I think that's quite important because we create silos within our own kind of divisions, and we spoke about that too.
Yes.
And I think that's important that you work collaboratively together.
Yep.
And I think TA functions often get neglected. The best buy-in that you can get is the fact that you're hiring these people into your business. Like you're hiring, you might have...
It's the front.
That's right. You're getting these senior leaders on board. You're giving them a great experience, but what are you doing to follow up with them and then make sure that, once they join, it's not just about them being onboarded, it's about their journey once they're inside too.
100%.
So, you know, that's been key for us as well, because I've been part of that journey with them. That relationship's there.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and in different parts as well. You know, bringing on new communications people,
Yep.
or bringing on more new IT people, and
Yep.
then having that sort of relationship. Then it's, you know, you've got to learn to play the game, I think, you know, a bit, you know, and how you get that relationship going.
And well, you've got to be great at building relationships
Yep,
by the
that's
sound
right.
of it, because when you're talking about EVP and employer branding and you
Yeah.
want to include TA,
Yeah, that's
there's a
right.
lot of people involved. It's quite a big dance, and initially.
It is. It's never easy, and you've got to, I think it's got to be consistent. I think
Yeah.
one of the processes, the talks today, and I think Mod's talked about it as well, that
Yeah.
you've got to keep your finger on the pulse.
Yep.
And you just got to keep at it.
Yep.
You can't just forget about it.
Yeah. Do you think, because a couple of people, I've heard this, you know, that it is never easy, because when you're starting a new process and you're
Yeah.
trying to get lots of buy-in, but do you think it's made out to be harder than what it really is, or it is as hard as what it really is?
I think we overthink things.
Okay.
I think we definitely overthink things. It's just human nature to do so. I think we just got to learn to really just keep it simple.
Yep.
Keep it simple and talk to people. Don't talk at them. You know, I think what we normally have in conversation is we already think about the answer that we want to kind of, you know, our answer's already there. So if I'm
Yes.
talking to you, if I'm not listening to what you have to say and I've already got something that I just want to spit at you, it's not going to be a great conversation, you know.
No.
So if I'm really listening to you and listening to your pain points, and I sit there and go, hang on, let me go away, I'm going to come back, you know, I've thought about it. You've also thought, oh, he actually has considered it. He's not just spitting stuff.
Yes.
Because that whole trust thing sometimes could be that I've been burnt, someone's just trying the whole sales type spiel.
Well, the
you know,
active
you know?
listening is that empathy and engagement
right,
side,
yeah.
right? So if you're just listening to respond, then
No, that's right.
not good for relationships.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. So I think that's been kind of the key to our success as well.
Yeah.
We listened to the pain points for IT and how long it took them to recruit to begin with, and the contact center, and you know, and just really going, well, that's not a good process. You know, that's not great. You know, how can we make this better for you? Well, this is what we could. This is how we could approach it better. You know, I'm taking too long to talk to candidates. You know, once we engage with candidates, we create an expectation too.
Yep.
You
Yes,
know, so
yeah, of course.
you know, so that's not a good candidate experience when you're talking to X amount and then you're having to go back to them to either decline them and you forget about, and so you know, an inconsistency of process at the end of the day. You know, so yeah, no, our technology it delivers that now, and our IT team is so happy.
Awesome.
Honestly, they're our huge advocates.
No, it's been such a pleasure talking to you now.
Thanks.
And hearing you today. There was just so much value. I could feel the audience with you as well. So I hope we hear more of you and see more of you as well, because it was really fabulous, and there's a lot of people who need, I think, more support in this area as well.
So thank you for your time.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Right,
See you
cool.
later.
See you. Bye.